in my experience, when you tell people or when you make a discussion about who to vote for, then that discourages people to vote and register. They stop believing in anything, everything. So that won't get us anywhere, because that's exactly what the people in power want you to believe. That you don't have power, that it's useless, that it doesn't matter what you do, they're always gonna win. And this is exactly why it's necessary for us all to realize that we all, each and every single South African, needs to register and vote, and we need to encourage other people to register and vote. And when we do that, the last thing that we need to use in our words is, it's useless, but please go and register to vote. The minute we start off by saying it's useless, they will not register and vote. I don't even have lists to register and vote when I tell myself it's useless. What I tell myself is it matters who I do vote for, who I not vote for. So I go there, I register, and I not vote for someone. I don't care which name is on that shit list. I don't care which party is on that shit list. I know the parties I'm not voting for. I know the people I'm not voting for. So the list automatically is reduced. You understand? That's easy. And this is how you need to communicate to everybody. Stop saying it's useless. Stop suggesting who they need to vote for. Just tell them, please show up and vote. That's all. Just tell people, please register and vote. Things will change when you do that. Because that is the truth. The opposite is not true. Things do not change when you do not register and vote. This is what people have been doing the last 30 years, and this is what South Africa has been relying on the last 30 years, that people do not show up to register and vote, that people don't list to vote. So, once again, it's very easy. Tell people, register and vote. If they ask you for who, you say it doesn't matter, as long as you don't vote for those who are already in power. Because that's what you don't want. You don't want the same people doing the same stuff that they've been doing the last 30 years. So how do you prevent that? Go there and vote them out. Don't vote people in. Vote people out. Don't go and vote for. Vote against. Perhaps it's easier to explain it as such. If you're in a job and you don't do your job correctly, or you don't do it well, or you don't even show up for work, whatever the case is, you mess up at work, they're going to fire you. Now, do you think these people at your employers or your boss or wherever, they're sitting there thinking, who are we going to hire? No, they're not sitting there. They're not sitting around thinking who we're going to hire for your job. They already know they're going to fuck you up. They're throwing you out. You are fired. You don't even know who's going to replace you. You just know when you get there, you ain't having a job. You understand? You got fuck all. You don't have a job. When you show up, you are fired. And it might be that you don't even know. You show up there and you're like, oh, you get dressed and whatever, you must fresh for the work, thinking, oh, I'm working. No, you're not working because you didn't do your job. So you get there and your boss tells you, please go out. No, your boss don't even come and tell you. At the gate where you're supposed to clock in, they already tell you your card is denied. It's expired. You're like, but I work here. No, you don't. Since when? Well, the bosses told us to not let you in because you don't work here anymore. Nobody cares who took your place. Nobody was wondering, oh, who did they actually employ for my job? You understand? Nobody. All we know is that you ain't working there anymore. And this is how we need to approach voting. It's not about who's going to replace the ANC or the DA or whoever. It's about them not being in parliament anymore. That is the topic. The topic isn't who's going to be in parliament. The topic is who should immediately be removed from parliament. And that is a clear answered question. A clearly answered. There's no denying that. And that is how you approach voting, and that is how you explain people to actually register and vote. Do not tell them it's useless. you have to vote for this party, otherwise it's useless, because they're not going to vote for the party, they're not going to show up, they're not even going to listen to you. Just tell them you want change, you want a home, you want employment, you want the taxes to go down, you want the rich to get taxed and the poor to actually suffer a little less. Then go show up, register, go and vote. Oh, who am I going to vote for? Well, who was in power for the last 30 years? Do you want that? No. Then don't vote for them. Yeah, but who am I going to vote for? Well, your list is already being reduced. You already know who you're not going to vote for. And I'm not telling you to vote for. That's your personal choice. And I believe that every South African has a fucking mind that he can decide for himself who he's going to vote for. I'm not telling anybody to vote for anybody. I'm just telling them, listen, if you really want change, logic is you're not going to vote for the people who've been in power for the last 30 years.